Hey, everybody. Hey there. Welcome back to the rebuild with Tiffany Talks with Tiffany. First of all, I'm sad because summer is winding down. Summer is going to be officially over, basically. For me, I think it'll be tomorrow here in the Northeast. And so by the time you see this, summer would have ended, and I'm disappointed. I can't even lie. I love warm weather, and so I'm sad. That's basically what it is. Sad for a lot of reasons. So summer has so many different meanings to me. This was the first summer my daughter and I were just discussing this. This was the first summer that we didn't get a chance to go to the beach. So I think I shared with you before that I had a really terrible injury to my ankle, and as a result, I was in a boot for several months. So I didn't get to go to the beach. This was the first summer I didn't get to go to the beach. Don't worry, I'm gonna find myself to some sand sometime soon. So the beach is really a big thing for us and just all the things that go along with summer. So for me, it's, those days of walking to get ice cream or making homemade ice cream. It is the barbecues and the cookouts with friends. It's the drinks on the rooftop. All of the things are, going to the farmer's market, big part of summer. And so I'm kinda sad to see all of that go, and honestly, it makes me think about things that I've had to let go of before. And, as sad as it is to let go of summer, I know that autumn is coming, and I love, love, love autumn. Pumpkin spice lattes, apple cider, sweater weather. I mean, everybody loves sweater weather. Football Sundays, just that chill in the air. Here in New York, in autumn, we can kind of dress a little bit cuter because we're not enduring the heat of the 105 degrees of the subway in New York City. So, autumn is just that time to just get super cute, we start wearing coats and jackets, and so I really enjoy autumn, but it doesn't come without a small bit of bittersweetness, like knowing that I have to let go of the summer in order to get to autumn. And so it just really makes me think, or it's made me think recently about other things that I've had to release. This is the rebuild. And so we're talking about life after divorce, life after career pivot, life after a major loss or a major transition. And so I wanted to talk to you today about the 4 R's of this framework. And so the first R is release, and that means to let go. So there are some times that I've had to release things, and it was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging. One of the things that I had to release was a marriage, like I was with this person for multiple years. So let me give you some background. Let's get into this. Let me give you some background. So I met my former husband more than 20 years ago at this point, right? Yeah, more than 20 years ago. Met my former husband. He came to visit the church that I was attending, and he came up with a ruse to talk to me. We chatted briefly, found out we had a mutual friend, and as a result, we started dating. So, it's this whole whirlwind. We're dating, we're having a great time, but there were some signs that I know I should have paid more attention to. I'm gonna tell you about those signs later. That's a whole nother story for another day. But back to this. So we start dating, we date, subsequently we get engaged, we get married, and we were actually married for multiple years before we ever had my daughter, which was, it was okay. It was okay. It had its highlights and it had its lowlights, marriage. But, we were in a commitment, and so we were trying to work it out. But there was a point when I knew this is over. This is over. I just knew it. I knew it was coming. And it's funny, like the recognition or understanding this comes in the most unexpected moments. I was sharing with someone while I was pregnant, I used to have these terrible, terrible cravings. So one of the cravings that I had was for hamburgers. And that was interesting because my doctor was like, "Yeah, you need more protein in your diet. That's why your body's craving protein." And that really was true. Like I needed to, I'm a carb lover. Pass the mac and cheese, pass the cornbread, pass the sweet potatoes, pass the french fries, pass the rice. I am a carb lover. And so I know that protein is something that my body needs. And I typically don't give it enough protein. And so during this time, I was having these really bad cravings and I wanted a particular dish. So I'm gonna tell you what it was at the Cheesecake Factory. Have y'all ever had the chicken and shrimp jambalaya? The pasta? So good. I don't care what folks are saying about going on a date to the Cheesecake Factory. Take me to the Cheesecake Factory. Thank you very much. Please and thank you. I'm fine with it. Anyway, I'm having this craving. I really wanted something from the Cheesecake Factory. Typically on Sundays, we would either go out to dinner or we would, maybe pick something up. And I remember this particular Sunday, I was pregnant and I had this craving for this dish from Cheesecake Factory. And so I told my then husband, "Hey, I really want this dish. Could you go and pick it up? Like, we'll place an order and pick it up." Listen, this is something that we did regularly. This was not something new or out of the ordinary. This was our regular schmegular thing. And so this particular day, he said no. He didn't want to go pick it up. So I was like, "Listen, I get it. I get it. I get that you don't want to go pick this up, but I really, really want this." And it was about a 20-minute drive maybe from our home. So 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. I'm like, "I really, really want this. I'm gonna call in the order. Please just go pick it up and bring it back home for my dinner because I'm really, really hungry. I'm not gonna cook right now. Like I'm hungry. I want to eat." And so this guy was like, he didn't want to do it. And I was like, "Okay, okay." I was seething. Because the thing is, I'm pretty independent sometimes to a fault. Like I know that, like I know like I can sometimes have this hyper independence about me and it's not necessarily a good thing. And in this case, I was not being independent. I think in asking for what I would like to have, but this guy was like, "No." Put my clothes on. I got my bag. I got my car keys. I got in the car. And the girl went to the Cheesecake Factory to go get her meal. And I remember driving down the highway. I remember this as clear as day. I was driving down the highway and I was big enough or far enough along that I had my belly just protruded and it was close to the steering wheel. So I had to be about maybe I would say about 7 months, 7 months. And the reason that I know this is because, another reason that I know this is because for me, at the very beginning of my pregnancy, like maybe the first 4 or 5 months, I had terrible, terrible, not even morning sickness, all day sickness. I was sick all day long. I could barely eat. My mouth was just constantly like watering. Every smell just made me nauseous to my stomach. It was awful. It was awful. It wasn't just in the morning, it was all day. I used to like suck on lemons. I would eat like very foods with minimal flavors. I ate a lot of crackers, lemon, citrus. Like citrus was like a palate cleanser for me. So it's not like I had cravings for like the first 5 months of my pregnancy. I didn't. I was barely eating. But around the 6th or 7th month, I started to get hungry. So I'm in the car, belly's poked out, almost touching the steering wheel. And I was just like, I remember rubbing my belly with my right hand. Typically drive with my left hand, rubbing my belly with my right hand and the steering driving, my left hand on the steering wheel. And I was so resolute. And I told this baby, I said, "You know what, baby? It's gonna be me and you. It's gonna be me and you. Mama's gonna take care of you. It's gonna be me and you." I can already sense that this guy right here, it ain't him. It ain't him. But me and you, baby, it's gonna be us. And sure enough, I went to the Cheesecake Factory. I got my meal. I can't remember if I stayed there or if I came home. But I ate my meal and I enjoyed every last drop, every last bite. And I just knew that I wasn't going to have a relationship with this guy. I knew that the our I wasn't interested, I wasn't connected. I didn't believe that there was a way to make it work. And I think that was the first moment. Now, I gotta tell you, this guy, my former husband wanted to break up a lot sooner, like a lot before this period, this moment in time when I was pregnant. That's another story. But at this moment, I was like, oh wow, no, this really isn't gonna work. Like, I'm really like, you're not interested in taking care of me. And I don't mean taking care of me like doing everything for me, but taking care of me like in relationship is so important to care for the person that you're with, not just love them, not just love them, but actually provide care. And care looks like kind of being concerned with the things that you know that they're concerned with, or caring about the things, giving attention to the things that you know that they give attention to or they want attention to. And I realized that I was not at any point going to get this from this guy. And it really saddened me. It really saddened me. But for some reason, the lights really came on in that moment. And I knew that I needed to release any idea about marriage. I needed to also release any idea around divorce that I had, whether it was a stigma, whether I was afraid or embarrassed or anything like that. I had to release that. And that moment of release is not it's not always a fun moment, but I do think that there is this awakening that occurs when you release, like when you realize like I'm holding on to this marriage like this. I'm holding on to this so tightly. And guess what? This guy doesn't want to be here and this marriage is not working. So I need to let it go. And the part about letting it go is I can't get anything new if I don't open up my hand. So I have to let it go. There's no choice unless I'm choosing. I guess the other choice, there is a choice. There's always a choice, I suppose. The other choice would be to suffer and be miserable in a relationship with somebody who I didn't love, I didn't like, I wasn't connected to, I wasn't compatible with. I would not even want to be friends with this person. That should have been the light bulb should have came on then. I should have seen like I don't want to be friends with this person. For whatever reason, I just didn't. And so yeah, so release. Release is like really the first R of any rebuilding framework. You got to release. In order to get to the rebuild, to any other area, any other art, you have to release whatever it is you're holding on to. Second thing you got to do, or the second thing that I did, was I really took some time to reflect on what it was that wasn't working, reflect on what it was that I didn't want. And so the reason that's so important is because if you release something without reflecting on what went wrong, what didn't I like, what didn't I enjoy, what do I want to do differently, you'll end up choosing the same thing over and over again. And that's counterproductive. So you definitely want to be in a space of reflecting, taking some time to actually think back, think on your choices, think on your decisions, think on who this person is or what the issue is that you need to let go of. What do I owe myself? I had to reflect on what do I want for myself? What do I owe myself? What do I feel that Tiffany wants and deserves? I really had to go after that. So it had to take some time to reflect. And reflection is interesting because sometimes what happens is it can put you in a space of thinking, I should go back. Reflection sometimes you puts you in a space of it wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. He didn't beat me. He didn't cheat on me. It's not terrible. It's not the worst. Somebody's going through something worse. That's what reflecting can do, right? Like if we reflect for too long till the point that we're ruminating on something, often that's what'll occur. So it's good to reflect in a constructive way and say, "Hey, listen, you know what? I'm not compatible with this person. I don't really like this person. I notice that if I share something, if I'm vulnerable and I share something important, he laughs at me because that's the type of person that he is. that is not what I want going forward. I don't want to be with someone who laughs at me. I don't want to be with someone who is unable to think outside of the box or dream a bigger dream. It's just not something that I want. And I think that reflecting on what our relationship was and what we had really gave me an opportunity to consider what it is that I want. Okay, so this next R, this is the part. Like, so sometimes people stop at the release and the reflect and they stop because this is the part that the next part is the part that sometimes people find to be super, super challenging. I didn't find it to be challenging, but I can understand how other people do. It's my believer cup. Look at that believer. Because guess what? Yes, I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I believe in me. I believe in myself. And that's why this next step is so interesting. This next step is reimagining. Have to reimagine your life in a new and different way. What is it that you want for your life? Reimagine something new, something different, something amazing. Listen, I have to be with a partner. Listen, I'm going to break it down to you. I have to be with a partner who is super duper, super duper intelligent. It is a must. I thought that if I was smart and if I'm intelligent, that that would be enough for me. Like I didn't necessarily need a partner who was smart. And so I ended up with a partner who wasn't smart. I'm just saying, super, super smart, something super important to me. I need intelligence. I need a high level of intellect and understanding and comprehension. High, nerdy, out of this world, high IQ. I need it. That's what I need in my life. I just realized that this is what I need. And so when I started to reimagine my life, I reimagined my life with a partner who was really, really smart. And subsequently, I've dated men who were really, really, really smart, like really smart. And I think I'm a smart cookie. I think I'm a smart cookie. Most of my friends are pretty smart. Some of them are just cute, but some of them are smart. And I've dated some men that I'm like, "Say that again, huh? What? Say that again? Like, what in the quantum physics, calculus, what have you come up with?" But I love a super, 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 super smart partner. Absolutely. I tell people the only way you're gonna turn my body on is to turn my mind on, period. If you're not smart, then it's not happening. So I like somebody super smart. I like someone I have to have a partner who is compatible, who knows how to be in the boardroom and knows how to be on the block. I do, because guess what? I know how to do the same. So that's super, super important to me. So I started to reimagine my life and the things that I wanted to do with my partner. And subsequently, that's what ended up coming into my life. I would meet great guys. I would meet guys who were super smart. I would meet great guys who wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, who wanted to travel, who wanted to have the life that I wanted to have. So I reimagining, and it's fun, like if you take the time to really reimagine and think about what is it that you really want from this life? What do you want life to give you? What do you want life to surprise you with? You'd be surprised what occurs. You would really be shocked. Like reimagining your life is super important. So for me, that's a really big step. That is the third R. And then finally, the last step is to execute. So I literally took a group through this process today. So we took some time. And when you get a chance, I mean, you can do this yourself. I'm going to tell you the truth. It takes a lot of guts to dream a new dream. It takes guts to reimagine yourself in a different way. It takes guts to come up with new ideas. It is very easy to remain complacent. It is very easy to go with status quo and to do what you've been doing. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you go to the supermarket, maybe you hit the gym, maybe you go to church, maybe you go visit your family, and that's it. It takes a lot to reimagine a life that is thrilling and exhilarating and breathtaking and enjoyable and fun and passionate. Passionate. I'm not going to deny it. It's not that easy, but it's possible. It's possible. And it's definitely worth it. And so in reimagining your life and rebuilding your life, take some time, like even if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, take some time. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be around a relationship that hasn't worked out. It doesn't have to be around, it could be around your career. Maybe you need to take some time. Maybe you're in a career that you despise and that you hate, and you're doing a job that you don't love. Take some time to reimagine what your life could look like. Take 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you, this is what I do. Y'all know, unfortunately, Chuck Mangione just recently passed. I'm obsessed with one of his songs. It's called Consuelo's Love Theme. I play that song and I take a few minutes and I just jot down the way that I see my life. What do I see my life? What does the end of summer 2026, fall 2026 look like for me? Start reimagining. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be living? What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be doing it with? What fun do you want to have? What joy and excellence and excitement do you want to bring into your life? Take a few minutes to do that. Imagine a new world for yourself, reimagine a new possibility. Because this is the thing, you can't get to the rebuild until you do that. So, if we're talking about framework, right? We're talking about a framework. You all know that I started my career working in like the major part of my career working in contracting. The first thing you got to do, you have to have a framework. You have to have prints. You have to have an outline of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to build a house, the architect has to complete drawings, a set of drawings, typically preliminary drawings, right? A rendering of the type of house that you want. You do that before you make any changes. You don't make edits at that point. You're just come up with a design. Is this going to be a colonial, a central hall colonial? Is this going to be a cape? Is it going to be a ranch style house? Is it going to be a loft style? You come up with these types of things in the preliminary drawings that an architect creates for building a home. Or if you're putting in a new electrical system, same thing. You're coming up with the preliminary drawings for building said system. And so that's what the reimagining is. Come up with a preliminary example. Do you want to wake up in Bali? Do you want to wake up in Accra, Ghana? Do you want to wake up in San Diego? Do you want to wake up in Queens, New York? Those are the pieces, those are the parts that are like the preliminary parts, the beginning of building a home. Decide what kind of life do you want to have? Does your bedroom have floor to ceiling windows, or perhaps you live in an apartment, or maybe you have carpets on your floor? Like, start thinking about your life, reimagining your life. Maybe it's you don't want to commute an hour every day. Maybe you prefer a commute that's 5 minutes from the living room to your study or your library, but start thinking about that kind of stuff, and that is how you imagine and build a new life. Once you've gotten those drawings together, then you start the actual process of building. Then you start framing it out. Then you start saying, "Okay, well, maybe I'm going to have the dining room next to the kitchen, but maybe I'm going to have a butler's pantry right off of the dining room as opposed to next to the kitchen and the powder room." This is the time. You come up with these drawings and then you start rebuilding. And once you start rebuilding, listen, it's not smooth sailing. It's not going to be smooth sailing. Not necessarily, right? Rebuilding takes a lot of courage. Courage occurs in the face of fear. So if you are afraid to rebuild, but you have the courage, do it anyway. Do it anyway. There's never a right time. There's never a perfect time for anything. There wasn't a perfect time to have a child. There wasn't a perfect time to get married. There wasn't a perfect time to get a divorce. There wasn't a perfect time to leave your job. There is no perfect time. There is time. There is opportunity. Take it. Go for it. If you believe that that's really what you want to do. And so in rebuilding, there's no perfect time. You could spend, and we see it, right? We've seen people spend years and years waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect moment. And the perfect moment will not present itself because there is no perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. But you get to really consider what it looks like to rebuild your life in the way that you want, to have the career, the job of your dreams. And listen, everything doesn't need to be accelerated and elevated. It doesn't. The job or the career of your dreams could be serving coffee, but you do it with joy and it is your pleasure. There's no shame in doing honest work. Like, there's just no shame in doing honest work, especially if it's work that you love. There's no shame in doing it. And so the rebuild is the last step, you know. Some people are looking for a sign. This is your sign. It's time to rebuild. Reimagine your life in a new way. And let's get to rebuilding. Hey, listen, if you need support in rebuilding, I'm here for you. Reach out to me, DM me, slide in my DMs, email me, call me, you know, send me a smoke signal because I'm here to support you. And you know, like I really want to see you win. I really want to see you win. And the thing is, I've rebuilt my life multiple times after multiple major life events. And so I know that it's possible. I know that it's possible to have the career of your dreams, to have the partner who makes you laugh and fills you up and who is incredibly smart and incredibly sexy at the same time. It's possible. I know right now I'm learning what it's like to rebuild my body after suffering an injury that kept me unable to work out for many, many months. So I understand rebuilding. And I hope that you're able to gather the courage to make a move and take some action in the midst of your fear. So just to run it back, release whatever's not serving you. If it's a job, if it's a friendship, it's got to go. You know when it's got to go. Like don't pretend that you don't know. Like you know their friend is not really your friend. Let them go. Let them go. Trust me, let them go. Reflect and think about, you know, where did you go wrong? What could you have done differently? What would you like to do differently? Reimagine a new normal, something new and different for you, and then go after it. Go rebuild your life powerfully. Claim what you want in the face of fear. Do it. Just do it. This was fun. I'm glad we got a chance to catch up. Share. What do they say? Share, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. I look forward to our next episode. Until then, I will talk to you soon. Thanks.